Hey, what's the word, players? Welcome to another episode. So last time we talked about the Summer Game Fest, but now what I want to do is focus on the indie games that interested me the most over at Day of the Devs, Devolver Digital, and Wholesome Games Direct. If you missed out on these indie games, now is the perfect time to add them to your wishlist. But before we continue, just want to let you know that if you like this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see more. It really helps a ton. All that being said, let's get into it. So the first game that I want to take a look at is a game called A Little to the Left by developer Max Inferno. A Little to the Left is a cozy puzzle game where you rearrange everyday objects in your home to solve puzzles. The developer said that this is based on their own tendencies when organizing things around their house, and this is something that kind of looks like it's up my alley. This is coming from someone that's not really into puzzle games. Definitely keep a lookout for A Little to the Left. Just keep an eye out for that cat that likes to mess up your progress. Don't worry, we still love them. Next up, we have Animal Well by developer Shared Memory. This is made by one developer, and one of the things that he says that he wants to showcase is to have as many visual effects that we haven't really seen in pixel games. And you can definitely tell because some of these creature designs are really cool visually, such as this flying cat thingy. And those birds just look really mesmerizing. So just on looks alone, this game looks really cool. And I don't know how to describe it, but this game kind of visually reminds me a bit of Cave Story. And honestly, that kind of connection is enough to make me want to check this game out. So hey, if this looks really cool to you, maybe keep an eye out for it yourself. Next up, we have Scheme by Ewald van de Wolf. I really hope I pronounced your name right. I'm so sorry if I butchered it. This is a unique platformer where you play as a creature called a Scheme who travels through shadows. So as you can see here, you have to jump between shadows cast by anything from inanimate objects like signs and trees to even movable objects such as people, animals, or even moving bikes. It's a cool concept and I'm really interested in seeing how far they can take it. Definitely don't let this one get lost to the shadows. Alright, moving right along, we have Goodbye World by Yofuji. Goodbye World is a narrative game where you play as two aspiring young indie developers and you sort of just follow their life around. Said to be inspired by Mother 3, the look at this game looks incredible. And honestly, the premise is something that I really love. A, because I myself would like to get into game development at some point, and B, I just really love stories where you follow the life of a creator. Now with a name called Goodbye World, I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends up being a tearjerker, but I'm willing to take that risk. So definitely check this game out if this one looks interesting to you. Alright, so now we get into the games that were showed during the Devolver Digital Showcase. And the first one that I wanted to take a look at here was the Plucky Squire. It looks like this is going to be playing around with a few different genres here, but the premise is that you play as a little squire dude called Jot, and you basically just go around doing good deeds, and has a really cool storybook look to it. But then you find out that you can actually jump out of the book into the real world, and that makes it transform from just being a 2D game to being a 2D game where you can also go 3D, and it's really cool. Honestly, with the fact that opens up so many possibilities, this looks like there's going to be so many things that you can do in this game. And honestly, seeing him jump around to like what looks to be a kid's room kind of reminds me of when I was younger and I used to play Stuart Little 2 on the PlayStation, or even A Bug's Life. Basically anything that has you play as a small character in a big world, that's the kind of thing that I really love. This is a game that I'm keeping on my radar and you totally should as well. Alright, kick flipping onto the list here is Skate Story. Now, just on premise alone, this game seems interesting, where you play as, I quote, a demon made of glass and pain, and yet you must skate through the underworld. It sounds so bizarre, but it's that kind of thing that just looks cool enough where you have to just play. The game has a really cool art style. The character design of the skater looks pretty unique. I love the skating feel. Without being able to play it, I can only go by observation, but it looks like the skating has a bit more of a weighted feel to it, so maybe something closer to like your skate rather than your Tony Hawk. Yeah, it just feels like there's a lot of impact when you like land and the screen just shakes. Seems pretty satisfying, but anyway, this game looks really sick, and I haven't heard of Blood Cultures before, but if that's them that's playing during the trailer, I'm gonna check them out because that music really nice. But yes, Skate Story looks sick. Definitely check this one out. Alright, so now let's get into the games that are shown during the Wholesome Games Direct, and the first one that we're gonna look at here is Mika and the Witch's Mountain. A game where you play as a little witch, and it looks like your objective is to just go around helping people by delivering packages. Looks to be a cozy little game. The art style kind of reminds me a bit of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Hat in Time, two games that I absolutely adore. I could definitely see myself just flying around and just finding a lot of enjoyment out of doing that. So yeah, if what they've shown so far looks interesting to you, go ahead and wishlist this on Steam. Swinging on to the list next is Frog Gun by Molgato. Frog Gun is a 3D platformer where you play as a little girl with a frog grappling hook.
Grappling hook!
Honestly, that alone is enough to sell me on the game. What's cool about the frog is that you can use it to pull enemies and objects towards you, and you can also pull yourself across large gaps. Reminds me a lot of the PlayStation and Sega Saturn games back in the day. If this game looks cool to you, guess what? You can actually download this right now on Steam. I've had a chance to play the demo, and I've had so much fun. If you're into 3D platformers, this is definitely something that should be on your radar. Hopping on to our list next is A Frog's Tale. Oh hey, he's waving. Aw, how sweet. A Frog's Tale is an RPG where you play as, well, a frog. The game seems really cool. It kind of reminds me of the Mario RPG series, specifically Mario and Luigi, due to the fact that there's a lot that you can do outside battle, from puzzle solving and stuff like that, and while in battle, you have to time your button presses to your attacks to do more damage. I always love it when turn-based RPGs find ways to keep the player engaged even after they've made their choice. And the visuals look absolutely stunning in this game. Love the sprite work in the environments, and can we just appreciate the little details of having this little frog guy dress up in a coat and have a witch's hat? That's 10 out of 10 material right there. And these are the indie games that stood out to me. Let me know what seemed interesting to you. Are you gonna check out any of them? Let me know down below. If you're looking for a church to be part of and part of a non-denominational church, down in the description below will be a link to our church locator so you can find one of our churches near you. If you're interested in studying the Bible, let me know. We can set up something through Discord. And as always, thanks again for watching this video. If you'd like to see more, click right here, or I'll see you next time. Peace!